Okay, we're going to move on now to our last topic of the podcast, and this is a fun one. The reason why I say it's a fun one, it's always fun when we get to talk relocation or realignment, however you want to look at it. This is a relocation kind of a topic, and it's simple. This week, the mayor of Las Vegas, Carolyn Goodman, said she is confident that the Raiders will relocate to Las Vegas. In a quote that she told ESPN Radio's Capital Games podcast, the Raiders will come if Nevada handles this properly.
I don't know, man. I just don't. I don't see Las Vegas as a real viable site for an NFL team. Any professional team, really. They're always that they can pull off the minor leagues. They can pull off an arena, whatever it is. They can do that. I just don't believe they can really hold on to an NFL team because it's just not an area. It's a tourist attraction, and that's basically it.
Here is what I first think of when I think of Las Vegas getting any kind of a professional sports team. NBA, MLB, hockey, NFL. Can you have a professional sports team in a city where gambling on sports games is legal? Boom, right there. That's the first issue with this.
Yeah.
Can you have a team like the Raiders in Las Vegas where fans can go to casinos and gamble on sporting events or sporting championships or this or that, or where gambling is actually legal?
It's interesting. Obviously, the players can't do that.
That's one thing you'd have to worry about.
I think
I would say that you'd have to worry about it in some cases.
I think it would be pretty obvious that the players can't do it. You're not going to have, the Black Sox type of situation here, where you have the whole team in that case, but not the whole team, but most of the team.
Derek Carr puts a little money on it, throws a key interception when he has the power.
He's going to get the Pete Rose treatment. He's going to be excommunicated from the league, banned for all of eternity. I just think I really come down to the economics of it and the viability of it. This is a tourist location. They're not going to have the true fan base there because
it's kind of like a hosh posh of fan bases.
I mean it's that, but it's also a place where people go touristy to party, to gamble, to do that type of things. Go to
strip clubs.
And it's not economically, like, for the people who actually live there all the time.
Yeah.
It's not a well-off area. I don't think they have the money to really support. I mean, Las Vegas has money. I don't think they necessarily have the money to support that. Plus, I also in the back of my head think, Las Vegas, you guys don't have water. Like, you guys need to focus on those type of issues. Do we really need a field that we're going to have to supply water to all the time? I'm just concerned about that. You guys are in a fucking desert.
They would get turf.
I guess they would have to, yeah.
Kind of like, look at Arizona. Let's do it how they, but...
I just want to bring the point that it's hot as fuck in Las Vegas.
The one thing Goodman also said is the site under consideration could host the NFL, MLS, and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas football. She said she's confident that Las Vegas would get an MLS franchise as well. So that means you'd have the Raiders and a professional U.S. soccer franchise.
Which, I mean, kind of goes to my point of, if I don't even think that you guys can really support and have the true fan base for the Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders.
Soccer could work, though.
I would disagree.
The reason why is...
America doesn't care about soccer.
That's exactly why. How many people tune into the MLS, and when you see MLS, like... The one that I think of off the top of my head is the Portland Timbers. Portland, besides for the Timbers, has the Trailblazers. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the market of that city. And then they have the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, but Portland is first of all, Portland's a hip area. Hipsters like soccer.
True.
But it's also a city that has a good base there. My thing about LA, and I might be completely off on this, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Is that it's just the people who actually live there are not well off enough to really support this area. Las Vegas, now the surrounding areas maybe have a little bit more, but Las Vegas is an area that is purely based off of the tourists. And it's just, I can't imagine that the people who come there to gamble and to party really are going to then go to a football game or then go to a soccer game.
Here's the other thing. If the Raiders moved to Las Vegas, would the black hole, that fan base, follow them to Sin City? Because the only way this works is if the fans they have right now in Oakland move with them. And I don't know if necessarily that happens, because the thing that makes the Raiders the Raiders is that black hole, kind of you go and it's just fans and Darth Vader masks and shoulder pads and face paint and just the crazy fans that you see in the black hole.
Oh, definitely. I don't know that they do. I really don't. It's not horrible. I mean, I don't want to just do it based off of trip, how long it would take you to drive from Oakland to Las Vegas, but about 8 to 9 hours is the answer to that question.
You could fly, though.
You could fly. It would take only an hour in that case. Gonna spend, like $200 to do it, but sure, knock yourself out. But I mean, I don't know if that's the thing with what I'm saying with Las Vegas, and my same issue that I had with anybody moving to LA in the first place was it's not an area where people are going to be fans of that team. This isn't Boston. This isn't Green Bay. I'll even say Chicago. It's not St. Louis, where you have... Oh, St. Louis is a bad example because they lost their team. But it's not this area where people are there, and they've been there, and they're always going to be there. LA is a place where people go to LA for other reasons, and they still are going to carry their Chicago hat, their New York hat, whatever it is. They're still going to be a fan of that team where they came from because it's a transplant city. I don't necessarily know that Las Vegas is a transplant city. I don't know it well enough.
You're just saying it's a tourist attraction.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know
it's not even a transplant city. It's just an attraction that I go to get away for a week or a weekend.
Yeah, exactly. It's that. So I don't know that I don't know that those people are going to really adopt the Oakland thing. I don't think people who live in Oakland are going to give up on this team like people in LA didn't give up on them when they moved to Oakland. But those people are 8 hours away.
And I mean, Goodman also said, and I quote, "We're getting calls from outside the region offering to help with funding for stadium in Las Vegas." And the article then says she also said Las Vegas would be a destination for fans from the Bay Area, LA, Phoenix, and all over the West for games.
I don't know. I just think about it for myself. I would love people to go in the comment section and let me know what they feel, or Twitter at the Mark Weber. But how far are you really willing to drive for your average game? I'm not talking about the Super Bowl. I'm just saying your average game.
Weekly game if you're a Raider fan, or a weekly game if you, let's say, put the Bears in this situation, you're a Bears fan.
I think of it, and it wasn't that long ago that I drove to Nashville, and I just happened to stop over at Nissan Stadium. But I think about that, and I'm like, man, that was a 6 to 7 hour drive. I don't know if I'd be willing to do that just to watch the Chicago Bears play.
And then come right back.
And, yeah, exactly. And maybe I spend a night there because it was a night game or something like that. I don't even necessarily want to drive to Detroit, which is only 5 hours for me, or to Green Bay, which is going to be less than that.
What, 3 hours?
Probably 3 to 4. I don't really know 100%, but I'm guessing around 3.
Because it's a little bit more north than Milwaukee.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really want to do that even, and that's not that far. How far are you really willing to drive? If you're saying, for people in the Bay Area, that's a 7 to 8 hour drive, if not more for certain people. Are they really going to drive 8 hours just to see the Oakland Raiders play?
I kind of see this. Is this a power play by Davis? Is this a power play to say, hey, look, we're meeting with Las Vegas to get a new stadium in Oakland?
It could be. I just kind of, I don't know. I find it very interesting. It does add to the circus that is Las Vegas. It's one more thing. And maybe you would...
And if you can get those fans to come over, it fits the city.
It does. It definitely does. Or, and maybe they're hoping that, guys on their bachelor party or something like that, like the people who make a trip of Las Vegas, they go and have a guys' night. College kids go there on spring break or something like that, even though spring break there's no football. But follow me here. People who are going there for whatever reason are just going to add seeing a football game as one more thing to do.
Or a soccer game.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Because they're adding the MLS too. Remember that.
Well, yeah, they'll be like, it's cheap tickets, $25. Yeah, sure, we'll go. I don't know. It'll be interesting for sure. I'm not sure. I don't know if I believe that this can work.
Bottom line, do the Raiders move or do they stay in Oakland in your mind?
I want them to stay in Oakland. I think they do. This wasn't the team. Oakland really should be in LA with the Rams. If anything, I mean, I don't think that LA needed any teams, especially not two. But if they're gonna have two,
they used to have two.
If they're gonna have two teams, Oakland and the Rams should be there, and San Diego should have been the team to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Instead of San Diego also joining in on the LA thing, and I just don't think Las Vegas is the answer. There's better places to go than Las Vegas, in my eyes.
Well, I'm gonna put it this way. I think this is a power play by the Raiders. I think this is them trying to use this to say, hey, we're in talks at Las Vegas to try to get the city of Oakland scared to keep the Raiders. It's kind of like that shitty girlfriend thing. And I say shitty girlfriend because these girls are absolutely the worst. The ones where it's like, my boyfriend doesn't appreciate me. How am I going to try to get him to appreciate me? I'm going to go hang over some other guy. Or I'm going to give another guy my attention because then he'll want to give me attention because he'll get jealous. That's what the Raiders are doing right now. Is it necessarily the right move? Probably not, but we'll see what happens in the end. That's going to do it this week for the Onside Kick. I want to thank all of you guys for listening in. If you're on SoundCloud, go ahead, hit that heart and repost button. If you're on YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, like I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, if you want to give us a little bit extra support and be rewarded for that extra support, go check out our Patreon page. The link is down in the description. I want to thank you guys for following us. I'm at Ricky Widmer, for Mark Weber at the 2E's Mark Weber. This is us signing off for the Onside Kick. But as always, have a good day, everybody.
Thank you for listening to this MVP podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Most Valuable Pod for more great podcasts.